What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Mary B, bringing you the mayhem. And the Rise of Skywalker has finally managed to crawl its way to $1 billion. And people are beginning to sort of take a bit of a post-mortem of the Star Wars saga. Where do we stand with things? Where do we go from here? What does all of this mean with the crazy that went down with this movie and how poorly it was received by fans? So people are beginning to sort of do that post-mortem, and we're going to take a look at an article today. It comes to us from TheVerge.com that sort of just breaks this down for a little bit here. And I will give them this. I don't know that I agree with where they decide to kind of lean with this. I don't know that I agree with that, but let's go ahead and get through the article here, and I will at least give them props that they're open and honest about the state of Star Wars and the way that things look with this movie. It didn't go well, guys. It didn't go well. So from TheVerge.com, the Rise of Skywalker is proof that Star Wars needs to reinvent itself. And of course, not all 1 billion movies are created equal. I could not agree with that more. So Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker has officially crossed 1 billion at the box office worldwide, making it Disney's 7th film in 2019 to hit the 10-figure mark. But The Rise of Skywalker has taken longer than its predecessors to hit 1 billion. The latest indication that the 9th Star Wars film just isn't doing very well at the box office compared to the other sequels. For nearly any other film, hitting 1 billion at the box office in 4 weeks would be something to celebrate. But The Rise of Skywalker is a Star Wars film, and as well as the closing piece of the resurrected sequel trilogy. It took The Rise of Skywalker 28 days to cross the 1 billion mark, when The Force Awakens hit the same mark in 12 days, and The Last Jedi in 19. There are any number of factors that likely contributed to The Rise of Skywalker underperforming. Fatigue from an oversaturation of Star Wars films in the marketplace, which I personally disagree with, because look, people latched on to The Mandalorian. They latched onto it hard. I do not think for 2 seconds that you can point to what happened and say that this is fatigue, but we'll go ahead and let the article continue here. Or lingering malcontent over the controversial choices made by The Last Jedi. But it's impossible to ignore that most people thought The Rise of Skywalker just wasn't very good, and I could not agree with that more. Look, you have an incohesive trilogy here. You have a movie that decided to follow the last film by undermining so many points that it made. There's no cohesion here whatsoever. Yes, most people don't like The Rise of Skywalker. Instead of setting out and making everyone happy, J.J. Abrams, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, instead of making everyone happy, you pissed everyone off. So you had no plan here, and it's not doing well. And I think even the most sort of average run-of-the-mill Joe can look at this and go, yeah, you made $1 billion because Star Wars was in the label. That's why you got there. So other films such as Pacific Rim, The Great Wall, and more recent Pirates of the Caribbean and Transformers films could rely on the international audience to make up for a lackluster domestic box office. While popular in the United States, the Star Wars franchise in general has failed to make as much of a dent in the international market. And it just goes on to talk about the difference between China and how it has an impact here within the United States because of the nostalgia factor, which I would agree with. These other international countries don't have the same nostalgia for Star Wars that we do. Perhaps they don't have that attachment to it. But after The Rise of Skywalker, Disney is giving the franchise some time to rest. The next film in the series isn't scheduled to hit theaters until 2022, assuming there are no delays or changes in plans. So the future of Star Wars for now lies in the smaller shows like The Mandalorian, which just concluded its well-received, again, as I said, not Star Wars franchise fatigue, not fatigue for Star Wars, but simply make a good movie, make good movies, and we'll come to it. A second season is already in the works, as are 2 other live-action series based on Rogue One's Cassian Andor, which I'm not looking forward to. I don't know why you're making it. Nobody asked for it, but again, whatever, you made Solo, so here we sit. And the prequel trilogy's iteration of a younger Obi-Wan Kenobi, played once again by Ewan McGregor, which should have been on the big screen, but here we sit. Star Wars will return to the big screen at some point, as The Rise of Skywalker shows. Even poorly received Star Wars films are still usually billion-dollar blockbusters. I mean, yeah, sure, it made $1 billion, but they're not going to make much money back off of it because you spent so much. And look, $1 billion at the box office doesn't mean that that's what they put in their pockets here, guys. They're going to get about 60% of that haul back in, which means they're going to make, roughly around $600 million, and they spent nearly that just trying to get the thing made and marketed. So but with lore-heavy Skywalker saga concluded, it's likely that the next phase of Star Wars will look a little more like Marvel or the Fast and the Furious films, emphasizing more standalone, bite-sized adventures that don't have all the baggage of past films attached. This is where I deviate from the article. This is where I take a step back and I go, look, yeah, it didn't go well, but this doesn't mean that Star Wars needs to reinvent itself. And going the way of Marvel, look, you have Marvel. We have Marvel. If we want Marvel, we'll go watch Marvel. What I don't want is to see Star Wars up and decide that they have to mimic and be a secondary Marvel in order to get people's butts in the seat. What you need to do, and I hope you're listening, Disney Lucasfilm, I really do hope you're listening. What you need to do is get back to basics, not reinvent yourself. There are a plethora of stories within Star Wars, the expanded universe. There are a million places you could go. Get some talented people on your team here. You've got a few options. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni. You've got some talent there. And put a little love back into Star Wars. Get back to your roots. Get back to basics. Don't mimic Marvel. That is not where this needs to go. And I really think that you'll find that if you go and you make yourself a second-rate Marvel, just another rip-off of Marvel, because DC tried that and it didn't work out too well. If you do that, I think you'll find that you will simply continue to bleed fans. And those movies that manage to scrape their way to $1 billion probably won't even be able to pull that off. Anyway, guys, do me a favor, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Where is it that you think Star Wars should go moving forward? Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the bell for notifications, and hey, if you like, feel free to go over and check me out on my channel. I am Mary Mayhem. I am the female whammon representation here within Geeks and Gamers. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Love, love.
Hey, this is Jay with Geeks and Gamers with a special announcement. Over the past few years, several of us have been trying to complete a home that will house orphans and displaced children in the country of El Salvador. We were hoping that this home would be finished by the time Christmas rolled around in 2019. Unfortunately, we did not meet our goal to complete this home. Partnering with Jeremy and all of us here at Geeks and Gamers and with you, we are setting up a GoFundMe to raise some funds that hopefully will help us get closer to our goal in completing this home. We will use the money to hire professionals to check out the home and also pay for some educational costs for many of the children. This will help with the burden of those raising money, and more money can be put into this home to be completed. Me and several staff members from Geeks and Gamers will be traveling to El Salvador at the end of May that we can bring a significant amount of money to finish this project. We hope that you would want to partner with us in this as well. So please click on the link, read about it, and do the best that you can. Thank you so much.